Welcome, Lydia. I'm so happy to have you here. So happy for everyone get to know you, hear from you, and I would love to just start with you just sharing who you are, what do you do, and introduce you to everyone.
Thank you, Christy. It's such an honor to be on here with you. So, as you said, my name is Lydia Piccolo. I live in Canada. I am an executive leadership and peak performance coach. So, I have a lot of experience in leadership in the corporate world, and I am now really sharing my teachings, my expertise, my coaching with leaders, professionals, entrepreneurs to get them to their next level.
Amazing. And you also just started. Like, when did you start this business? Let's hear all about it.
Yes, it's been something that's been on my mind for quite some time. But
Yeah.
I officially launched my business while on maternity leave with my second little, and it was April of 2025. So lucky for me, I've been working with you from the get-go, which I think has really helped me a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. It hasn't even been a year.
It hasn't, you know.
That's incredible. That is so incredible. And I'd love you just to share I feel like one of the things with you is you have this ability to just do. I remember I was like, I don't take people at your stage. I was like, I actually don't work with people who are at your stage. But when we were on our first call, I really saw this just infusion of like who you are and your ability to lead yourself and your ability to follow through and your ability to just show up. And I remember you were hungry. You're like, tell me anything and I will do it, Christy. And you've in not even a year, like it's been, what is that, almost 9 months of business and what you have been able to create while being a mom, while balancing your whole life, like you've been able to do so much. So it's incredible. And I really just want to say it totally is a reflection of who you are because of, obviously you lead yourself and that's what you do with your clients. I'd love you to just share like where you have grown in these 9 months of business with clients, with all of it.
Yes. Okay. So I think one thing that has really impacted me about working with you, and it's really helped me show up in my life, is the embodiment piece. Like that's something in Wealthy Women that you talk about all the time. And it's something
Yeah.
that I did with myself, but I never articulated it in that way or thought of it in that way. So I feel like for me, I have really been intentional about how I lead myself in the corporate space, how I lead myself as a mom, and then how I lead my clients. And I refuse to live by society standards of not being able to do all the things that we want to do. And I've always been that way. And I actually thought it was kind of normal. Like, doesn't everybody wake up at 3 a.m. and do all the things and have the energy to do? And people would look at me like, what do you do? How do you what? And I was like, how do you guys do stuff? So I've basically transitioned how I lead myself first. I like how you said that, how I lead myself first. And I show my clients how to lead themselves first so that they can actually earn more. They can, be somebody who wants to show up in their lives and actually achieve results that they didn't think was possible. And how in your program, what has really helped me has been, first of all, the way you lead yourself. You have a tremendous amount of capacity and being an example for us, being an example for me of what is possible when you are really focused. And the mindset piece is huge, right? How we lead ourselves through uncomfortable situations, how we show up when things are not going well. The fact that both truths can be true, and the way that you say it, you can be uncomfortable, you can have a lot of things in your life and you can still show up. I feel like you modeling that for me has shown me also what is possible, and that has had what you call a ripple effect. I know you did a training on that recently where you talked about the ripple effect. You don't know the lives that you're touching directly, but by impacting me, I'm now able to pass that on and light the candle for somebody else, and they're doing it in their homes and in their workplaces.
Totally. That is, yeah, so incredible. And thank you, firstly, just to say. And that's really, I feel like also just to mention about you is how much you've been able to, you take the learning, and take the modeling and use it. And also, we didn't even mention, but you're managing like a full-time job, two kids, and starting this business. And that's what I think is so impeccable about your own growth. I mean, you've been able to sign how many clients now?
I have 8 clients now.
Okay. You have 8 clients. You have 8 clients. We're in the brews of talking about the next evolution already of the business, of like the next version of scalability. And most people don't even get to that till like year 2, 3, 4, 5 in business. And we're doing it like within the year. And I think really it's just such a testament, truly, to I always tell you this, but like that you're amazing. Like your ability to just hold what you want, know, hey, I'm making this work, and that you have the ability to show up and be a leader in all of it and show up in all your different roles and be able to work with like really, you work with very high level leaders, which requires a certain level of leadership to not only get them as clients, but to coach them effectively and then have them stay as clients. That's a whole other level of leadership. And it's incredible.
Thank you. And I will say,
Yeah.
the fact that I started with you right early on, and I remember you
Yeah.
saying that the best thing to do is just, if you're gonna, you took me on as a client, which I loved, and then being able to, I really do think that I've been able to escalate a little bit faster, of course, because I have the right guidance and mentorship. I think that
Yeah.
I would not have been able to do and hold the
Yeah.
space and be able to articulate myself in the way that I have with clients and the sales piece and everything
Yeah.
if I wasn't part of your programming, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's why I'm so particular. Normally I don't take new people because I think that it really requires like to really integrate the learning at the level that I give, because I'm giving so many different teachings and what you need, that I really want people to be able to integrate it. And you've been able to do that consistently, which is like so, so, so incredible. And I just would love you to share just like what do you feel have been the biggest shifts for you in the business in this time? I mean, really, we've only been working together. I was actually thinking about it from what is it, 5, 6 months now? So you've been in business, for like 9, but we've been working together for 6. What has shifted for you just in your business? And yeah,
Okay, so I will say, I think the sales piece. So I, was very uncomfortable with sales at the
yeah,
beginning, and it is, you're nervous when you're talking to people, but you genuinely want to help people, and you know that what you're
yeah,
doing can help them. But it is awkward. I think the way that you've taught me and you teach all of us is sales is about really having a conversation and a connection. It's a conversation, it's a connection. And I remember recently you said, like, it's really just telling the truth.
yeah,
You're telling the truth. You have
yeah,
something. This is what you see for the person. If it's not the right thing for them, that's okay. That's totally fine. But I'm telling the truth of how I can help somebody and what I see for them, what I see is possible for them. And
yeah.
whether, people prioritize what they value. If
Hmm.
people really value change, if people really value what you have to offer, they will make the investment. And you want to
Totally.
work with people like that because they are the ones that will actually really work with you in a way where they will get a result because they
Yeah.
are wanting change. So I think that has really made me a lot more comfortable around just I'm having a conversation, I'm telling the truth, and it's really about that connection, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's been a game changer for me, honestly.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You absorb information so well. I'm like those are like verbatim what I said
Yes.
in trainings. Like you just absorb it.
As you explain things very like you explain things really well. And so I'm able to really absorb it, honestly.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. And what about, I guess I would love you to share about your life. Like how has actually stepping into business and stepping into Wealthy Woman, how has it impacted you as a person, or just your own perception of life, or your own way of how you look at things?
So much, so much. So I feel like I'm holding the bar higher for myself now. So here I am. holding the bar for my clients. I'm constantly listening to your trainings. I'm always like listening to your amazing power drops, which you share with us to, really help us look at things in a different way. And I think to myself, in order for me to hold the bar high for my clients, I have to hold the bar even higher for myself. What kind of person do I want to be and evolve to so that I can get my clients to the next level? I need to be even more always learning and growing. And also, I think the biggest thing is you have normalized for me that it is a given, and it is just part of being business that we're going to be uncomfortable and there's going to be challenges and the ground is going to be shifting as we walk, but it's how we hold ourselves in those spaces that really determine whether you are the person that's going to continue to thrive in those situations. And it's really how you look at situations. Everything's happening for you, not to you. How are you growing through these stretches of uncomfortableness?
Yeah.
I often will say, to myself, if I'm in a situation that's a little bit uncomfortable, I'm like, what would Christy say right now? And I'm like, okay, this is normal. Like, and I'm a human being. I'm experiencing these uncomfortable feelings. I will say, and I don't think you've directly asked me this, but this is a huge one for me, has been learning the somatic work through your programming. Just, I was very much a corporate person. You wouldn't, I wouldn't be like moving, in like this state of moving my body. And it was very much like mind and logic and,
Yeah.
and I have to say hands down, really, you call it dropping into your body. I really actually have been dropping into my body since launching a business much more. I even encourage that with my clients.
Amazing.
And I have realized the power of when uncomfortableness gets trapped in your body, it clouds your judgment. It clouds whether you think you can do something or not. And with proper tools of just like giving yourself permission to release and have that movement. Yes, I work out 5 times a week, but that's not the same as what we're talking about when it comes to that. Where do that type of where you store energy and anxiousness and where you have doubt and all of that. That alone as well, coupled with everything else that you teach, has really transformed how I'm able to show up when I'm uncomfortable. And it has allowed me to take on even more because I'm able to climatize almost to the uncomfortable situations a lot faster.
Yeah. So amazing. So I'm just like beaming of happiness of just like, yes. And I will never forget, you came to the retreat that I hosted, and I will never forget you standing there and you going, I get it. I get it. And it was that moment when you're like, oh, be an embodiment means I have to be in my body and actually be aware of what's happening in my body to actually be truly a leader. And I will never forget it because it was the moment, it felt like your corporate brain, like that you've been so trained, right, in corporate and being so mentally driven to and you have a strong mind. Like you can mindset your way through so much in such a beautiful way. And I feel like that moment was like, okay, brain, you don't always have to be on. It's actually about really embodying everything we're thinking on the deepest level, in our body. And that's what makes us, an authority of what we do and sharing all of it. And I just will never forget that moment. It was my favorite moment from that weekend. I was like, yes, she got it. That moment when it just it clicked.
It was, yes, I remember. And I feel like that retreat for me has really been a pivotal moment of just things clicking, honestly.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's so amazing. And also just to highlight, so in your business, you started it 9 months ago, but we started working together 6 months ago. You have 8 clients. You also landed an incredible workshop opportunity for yourself. Do you mind me sharing about it?
It hasn't been announced yet.
Okay, I'll hold off. But an incredible workshop opportunity that came in, from you doing one of the simple strategies we talked about. And then this incredible opportunity came in. And you've made such incredible progress. And again, I want to emphasize a full-time job, 2 kids, working out every day, meditate, like doing your practice, being a wife, like the whole, and you've been able to do all of it. And it's amazing.
Thank you. Well, look who I have modeling me over here, right? Honestly.
It's amazing. But it's just been so incredible because I think so much of the time people can make up so many reasons of why. And, I always say it's like it's such a simple strategy. It's like we just focus on like, okay, what's the next step to land more clients? Okay, what's the next step now to like sign them again? Okay, what's the next step to create a scalable program? Like just one step at a time. And that's what I see that you've done so well. I really want to acknowledge is not getting ahead of yourself. Like every time you start to ask me questions that are like 5 steps ahead of where you are, I'm like, Lydia, we're not there yet. Like we're just getting you like sign more clients. Okay. Keep, have them continue. And then now the next level. And that's just like, I feel like what you've done also so well is just focusing on what needs to be focused on. And then naturally the next evolution of your business is being birthed in such a beautiful way.
Thank you. And can I also add one thing that's
Yeah.
helped me a lot, because you're a busy person yourself with a little one
Yeah.
and everything, right?
Yeah.
Is I remember something that you've woven into this program and the way that you teach is that it's not about how much time you have, it's how you use the time that you have. So if you
Yeah.
have 1 hour, and this really
Yeah.
resonated with me because I do have sometimes only 2 hours a day because I work a full-time job and I'm also I'm
Yeah.
mom and things are busy, right? So what is your highest leverage move? You always say, if
Yeah.
you have an hour to do something, you really focus on what is the thing that really needs to be done, and you do that consistently every single day, you will actually move the needle. You will make progress. Most people, they have 8 hours, but they're not actually doing the work that matters. So that
Yeah.
doesn't put them any more at an advantage than someone that has less time. It's how do you use the time that you have? And that
Yes.
really has changed how I show up every day, because I will time block and I will say, okay, I pretend you're watching me. I'm like, okay, if I have an hour and Christy's watching me, what am I doing with that hour
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
makes me feel actually more empowered, as opposed to saying I don't have as much time as other people have to focus on their business.
Totally.
I think it's how you spend your time, and that's been
Totally.
allowing me to show up every day as somebody
Yeah.
who really just focuses on what needs to be done.
Yeah. And you said it so beautifully well. And I think, again, that says volumes about how you've taken the teachings of, yeah, like you don't, it's an illusion. We need 40, 50, 60 hours a week. It's like, no, you just need really good focused time on what actually needs to be done in the business. And anything that doesn't, we don't put our attention to, and especially for you, like you really are. I will never forget when we had a call and we were diving in and you told me what you were doing with your time. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, that is not what you need to be doing for your goals. It's not our highest leverage. And you're like, but it's uncomfortable to do that. I'm like, exactly. We often avoid the thing that we most need. And that's why like my job is to make sure that, at the end of the day, you're moving your business forward in a way that you want at the end of the day. And a lot of times the faster we face the uncomfortable things and build capacity, then actually they don't control you in the business, which I feel like I've seen from you consistently again and again, is you just keep growing that capacity. So it's amazing. And I would love you also just to share about, if you could describe Wealthy Woman, like what is the experience inside of the program, the community, like anything you want to share about it, I would love you to share.
It would be my honor. Okay, so I have to say, Christy, I have very high expectations.
I know you do.
I do, right? And I'm being really truthful. Christy has not asked me to say anything. I'm really being truthful that your programming has exceeded even my expectations. And I'll tell you why. Because number one, you are somebody who has such integrity, and that allows me to trust you, because you don't make decisions just based on numbers. You make decisions, and the way that you hold yourself and the way that you teach us to hold ourselves just says volumes about who we're getting the teachings from, honestly. So that's number one, because that touches everything in the program. The other thing is that I didn't even realize how much education there is in the program. And I'm very much about structure, and I'm very much about organization, and the way that you have different elements for different people of how they learn. So you'll have videos of training that touch on a lot of the foundational pieces of what we actually need to know to make it very
Yeah.
easy. That's why I'm able to tell you exactly what I've learned, because you make it easy. In addition, in our Slack community, the community that you've cultivated, such amazing women. And I know that you have hand selected the people that you work with,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you can tell that all of us have just such good intentions. We all want to help each other. We're all doing different or similar things in terms of business, but the community makes a big difference, and it's a really safe space to stretch and to learn and to grow. And the
Mhm.
way that you've created this community of just like next evolution, like, and the education within that community, the mindset work combined with the tangible practical tools, combined with you always learning as much as you're learning. You're a student of, you're constantly learning, and then you sharing
Yeah.
stuff with us based on real world experience and what you're doing, and then
Mhm.
on top of that, you constantly taking us behind the scenes of actually what you're experiencing in your business.
Yeah.
You are very real about that, which I appreciate,
Mhm.
because it teaches me, hey, if I'm in this situation, what would I do? Or how is Christy handling this? Okay, she's dealing with X, Y, and Z, and she's showing up this way, and you don't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
You also show us what's possible for us. And the other thing is,
Yeah.
you hold us accountable. You really do hold the bar high for us,
Yeah.
for me. And you tell me the truth, and your intentions are good. You want to, it's always in the best interest to help us.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I've said this to you before and I'll say it to you again, is really the white glove service that you provide in the container, that it has multiple different elements to it. Chef's kiss. It's like the signature, it's got Christy all over it, and it's that consistently being held in a container that really holds you accountable and gives you the teachings that you need to move forward in your business. And you do it in a way that you want to belong. Like, everybody belongs in that community, like in
Yeah.
your community, everybody belongs and feels like they're learning something and they're growing. And I feel like I'm able to just get this comprehensive experience and teachings and learnings that then really have helped me escalate my business, honestly.
Amazing.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. I didn't even realize, you're going to laugh at this, and I know you say this too. It's like, when you sign up with you, like, you don't even realize all the stuff that you're getting. You're like,
Yeah.
what? Like, okay, the way that you explain it, great. But then
Yeah.
actually, once you're in the community, you're like, oh, there's even more than what she said.
Yeah.
Or like, there's just, it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. I so appreciate it. And it's true, especially coming from you. Like, I know you do have a really high standard of client experience, and you go above and beyond for your clients, and it's how you hold it. I feel like half the time I'm like, Lydia, we don't have to do as much. You're doing amazing. Like, you don't have to do as much. And like, just the fact that that's your experience is everything, and yeah, like, that's always what I'm here for is, I take it as, like, you're paying me to hold you to a high standard of what your life is capable of being, and that's how I really think of it, is like, that's like true love, and that's true belief is, I always think of it as, it's so loving to say, hey, you want that? Great. We're going to do that. I'm not going to let you lower the bar when life happens or when a challenge happens. We'll maneuver, we'll restructure things. It may take longer, but like, we can still have that type of life. And I feel like that you've taken that philosophy and that feedback so well, and also have shown up just incredibly, even when you can't come to the calls. You're like, I watched the recording, here's my question. Like, it's just like, you're so incredible at like taking the opportunity that is in the program and the way that it's built and the way that it's developed. And yeah, it's amazing. I'm so happy to hear how much
Happy.
all the elements have impacted you. And is there anything that you would say in particular that, I mean, you've shared so much, but just anything in particular about also the style or the way that I coach and lead you that is really supportive for you with your evolution, or different, or Yeah.
I think a few things. One is just watching you and how you do things and how you lead the group is a teaching in itself. It's a master class in itself. Just watching you, like, when I attend one of your workshops that you have for all of us, right? Just how you conduct that in itself is learning. And I don't know if you really realize that, but I take notes on like just what you're doing. I'm like, wow, because if I want to lead a workshop, I want it to be that standard, right? The Christian
Yeah.
standard. And so that's been huge for me. Just watching how you always follow through, and you've been so consistent, and what you provide in the group is incredible. So from when you answer all of our questions, when you say, I answer questions on this day and this day, and this is what you do it. You're consistent and you do it.
Yeah.
When you are constantly upgrading the programming, every 3 months you're going in there and or more. And I've done a training and then I'm like, oh, she's upgraded it. Okay, so I go
Yeah.
back, right? You're constantly are evolving yourself and holding yourself
Yeah.
to a high standard that it naturally, anybody in your community is either like you have to be somebody who is wanting to change and to cultivate and to be somebody
Yeah.
who holds yourself to a high standard. Otherwise, it's just it's not gonna be a good fit. Like you which
Yeah.
is like in a good way. Like and then the other women in the
Yeah.
program, the way that you've cultivated it, we're constantly learning from each other. It's amazing.
Totally. Yeah.
Say also, one other thing definitely is just how you speak the truth, in a way that helps us, like that helps us move forward. You are constantly doing it in a way that elevates us in
Yeah.
a truthful way, right? Because that's a skill
Yeah.
in itself. How you, I don't want to say, because I don't believe in this, and I know you're also like this, like motivating is a
Yeah.
thing, but you
Yeah.
actually, you're very much about here are the skills, here's how to get there. And
Yeah.
actually the fact that you often say to me and to others, it's just a skill. You just don't have
Yeah.
it yet. So if,
Yeah.
skills or the way that you craft messaging on social media is a skill. And
Yeah.
once you put in the hours and you focus, it's a
Yeah.
skill that you're going to get better at. That to me, because I'm a logical thinker,
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. Like, I'm not good at it yet, but
Yeah.
it's a skill. And how you just kind of pull back the curtain on business and make it digestible and make it so that it's not so scary, honestly, but
Yeah.
really setting us up for success has
Yeah.
been huge. You're like the, I'm gonna. You're like the Harvard of like what you need to know for business. Honestly,
I love it. Oh my God. Thanks, Lydia. I love it. It's so, that means, yeah, that means the world to me. And I'm so glad. And yeah, I think when you see business as skills, it takes all the emotion, it takes all of our triggers out of it. And that's really why I do that, just so you know, is framing it in skills, because a lot of times we have so much of our own personal meaning when we're not good at things, or we're like, oh, I want a better result. It's like, no, they're just skills. We just got to take the feedback, improve with the feedback, and keep going. And I think like that's really what I'm here to share. And again, I want to reiterate, like, you have done so well. Like, I have seen just such a, not just transformation you in the business with clients and sales and like closing people regularly and all the things that you're doing so well, but I've also just seen just such an evolution of how you hold yourself in business. Like, in the beginning, and of course you're starting out, you're like, is this going to work, Christy? Do you think I can really do this? I remember you used to always ask me, do you think I can really do this? And I'm like, yes, you can. I know you can. You have it. You're going to have to take the feedback. You're going to have to take the steps that I give you, but you can. And like, now I feel like that you're not asking me those questions. You have evidence now of, oh, I can. And now the next evolution. And it's amazing because that's what I personally love about business is I feel like it infuses a level of confidence that you cannot get from anything else. Like, it makes you so confident and capable and courageous as a person because you have, business is a constant mirror to all the things that we are not good at, and it's your ability to stretch and own and be yourself and like staying on the path, and that's what you have done so well, so
It
well.
means so much coming from you, Christine. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, so well. So anything else that's there for you that you want to share? Yeah, anything, last little thing that's there.
I would just say, anybody listening, if you are on the fence, if you want to work with Christy and you haven't, I'm telling you, she is the real deal. Honestly, Christy, you will not regret your choice if you are ready to actually have a change and to take your business to the next level. You will just be pleasantly surprised with what is behind the curtain of what she's going to offer you and the community and the amazing people you're going to meet in her community, honestly. Yeah.
Thanks, Lydia. Yeah, it is a special, I think about that all the time. Like, it's such a special group of women. And
It is.
yeah, it's
And
so special. It like,
meeting all of, like, most of them at the retreat, it was just so nice. Like, they're everybody, you
yeah.
just learn so much from everybody, honestly.
Yeah. And that's why I always say, like, in business, especially for so many of us, we're building businesses on our own. Like, having people that you can be like, what are you doing? And what has worked for you? Oh, you're further in this area. What are you doing? Like, that is invaluable, you know? And that's why I really hold it as like, it's a community. It's not like you guys selling to each other and selling your programs. It's like, no, it's like a genuine community of service. Lydia, thank you so much for being here and for just sharing yourself and your wisdom and your experience. I so appreciate it. And I know, I mean, we still have 6 more months and probably beyond, beyond, beyond from there. I'm sure we'll do another one of these as the next evolution of you, but it's like truly, I tell you all the time, you've done freaking incredible. In this journey, it's very rare for someone to move at the speed at which you've moved at, and just starting out and it says volumes about you.
Thank you. That means the world coming from you. And I am simply just trying to keep up with you, girl.
Keep coming. I'm ready. I'll keep going. We'll keep doing this dance. I love it. So
Thank
thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you.